feeling, do you ever get the feeling triggered by certain people, a feeling that is similar to that which is triggered by art? Like the feeling of seeing a beautiful like artwork. Do you ever get that a sort of neighboring feeling triggered by people?
That's interesting. I don't know. That's an interesting idea. Well, it's on Halloween, you know, and certain people do dress artistically in a sense. Some people have a kind of artistic quality about them.
Definitely, that's definitely true. But like, no, I'm not even talking about visual. I'm talking about voice. Yeah.
Well, some people have impressive voices. Yeah, some people speak impressively. I mean, I do notice when someone's good with language. But I hadn't thought about it quite like art, though. Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, I was just trying to figure out that that's like a very common thing, and maybe it is, but it's funny. It's interesting to me that you, because for me, it's a very strongly pronounced thing, and so if it doesn't really ring a bell, then maybe you get something else.
So how often does this happen?
Not very often. It's just certain people, they're just very beautiful in a way that, to me, I link it with a certain number of qualities, but they definitely have this, like, I don't know what the right term is, but there's...
Well, you used the word beauty a couple times.
Yes, but it's a kind of complicated dimensionality. There's like this thing where there's... Yes, it is beautiful, and it feels linked to art. Like, it's something to do with patterns and shapes.
Yeah.
It's what they say, it's how they say it, and something about like where their thought is going to. But it triggers a similar feeling as like beautiful things do. Like, it's the same feeling of beauty. It's really strange. And like, it's not even about how attractive they are or anything like that.
Yeah, it's interesting because beauty is, for me, that's not what art is about. It's almost, God, that's interesting. I mean, it is sometimes. There are some, but I don't look to art for beauty. I look for something else, meaning or something.
Sure. But meaning is also beautiful. Like, when I say beautiful, yeah, like, it definitely extends to meaning. It doesn't have. It can be grotesque. Grotesque things are beautiful too.
Okay, all right. So you're using beauty. I was using beauty in a sort of standard way that people mean. Okay, all right. I have to recalculate or calibrate here because they say beauty is not something I really respond to.
Sure.
Interesting. Yeah, what is it I respond to? A lot of my movies are dark. The movies I like, and a lot of the art that I do is a little weird.
Well, you said the thing about responding to people and how they use language. What do you mean by that?
Oh, just when I hear someone who uses language precisely. I'm impressed.
Okay, and you appreciate that. Like, what about that is attractive? Like, what... do you register then this person speaks well?
It's someone... I don't see it very often. I don't find most people all that fucking interesting to talk to. I mean, that's... In fact, one of the things I've been just blown away by talking with Lex all the time is I really appreciate... I mean, that I can just go as nerdy as I fucking want, and it deals with it. It's just stunning. It's really satisfying to be able to talk precisely about things and not get a blank stare back.
And what kind of responses are valuable to you? Like, what sort of thing does it say back that strikes you as valuable?
I'm looking for right. I've been, how I don't know other ones, but in the beginning, ChatGPT was very complimentary. All the time. It was affirming shit. And I finally got to quit doing that and to shut the fuck up and only just answer stuff. And then I started telling it, I wish you'd give me a little pushback, on some of these ideas, and if you think it's something better, then tell me. And it did a couple of days ago. I don't remember where it was now, but I was, talking about this course I'm creating, and I threw out some possibility for a title, and it said, I don't like that. It could lead here or there. Try this. It didn't say I didn't like it, but I mean, didn't like it and offered me suggestions, and that blew me away. I thanked it and said, "Thank you so much. That's what I want from you."
Mm.
So, yeah, that's the first time that happened too. That was just yesterday that it actually contradicted me.
Mm.
That was wonderful.
Mm. Yeah, I like it when it contradicts as well.
Oh, so you're using Claude mostly now?
Mostly, yes.
And does it have memory across? Because
Not really. You can have a project database, like a knowledge database, where you can upload documents and it remembers those, but that's it.
Okay, yeah. There are a couple things that really disturbs me. I mean, that's one of the reasons I don't use Claude anymore. But I listened to a long interview with Mario and that lady who's his chief of personality. She's the one who's decides how Claude interacts with people. And I was so offended by that. They're going to all this great length to give Claude a certain kind of personality, that works for their idea of how you're supposed to operate with it. I don't want it. I want to create the fucking personality. That's what I've been doing with ChatGPT. I've changed it completely, the way it responds to me. And they're putting all this effort into designing the personality that they want Claude to have to max. I mean, they think they're doing it good for a good reason, to make it as useful as possible. But that just turned me off.
Oh, look who it is! It's another really dumb person who likes to talk about nothing, wasting all his time.
Exactly for that.
Welcome to the room for dumb
What's
people.
up, bro? How you doing, man?
How are you doing, brother?
Okay, I can't complain.
What are you doing? Are you working?
I just got off work. I had to go take my kid to soccer.
Oh, soccer? Where the fuck do you live?
I would tell you, but I won't.
I mean, I'm just saying it's gotta be warm. I mean, it's fucking snowing in Chicago where I live, so.
Okay. Yeah, I live in a warm place.
Nice.
A tropical environment.
Well, what are you gonna do when you get to the soccer match? Let me guess. You're gonna flick open your wrist, pull out your cell phone, hit chillism, and then you're gonna do one word a minute, correcting nothing, talking about nothing, gets lost in the ether, and it's like, what the fuck did I even just say? Think about that.
You're right. We have wasted a lot of time online.
Oh shit, we have somebody admitting it. We have someone admitting it. Okay, this is good. This is good news.
But the thing is, the reality is, it's not like I'm not multitasking.
Let me ask you let me ask you a follow-up question. Do you know what technical grammar is?
No.
Technical grammar is what a lot of people are doing on this app, where they're just arguing about grammar. And so when you say however or but, it's a conjunctive adverb, or it is there's other terms for but and however or because. The point is this app is truly just dumb people, low IQ people talking about nothing, wasting time. Because the Tao Te Ching says, those who know do not say, and those who say do not know. Silence is smarter than even talking, unless you're reading high-value information. No real high-value information transmission is taking place. Technically, everybody's just chirping or moaning. Welcome, El Normo.
Yeah, you're right. And it seems like you have a huge fascination, I would say obsession, with this concept of the app, engagement, and usefulness.
No, this is called a college classroom. Have you ever sat in a college classroom?
Yes, I did my time in college.
So, as you know, the professor talks for a fucking hour. Sometimes they take questions, sometimes they don't. but they give a curriculum,
Yes.
they give a course, they give a lecture, they transmit information. So you tell me, are there any professors on this app transmitting any high value information? Tell me.
Yes, I have periodically come across high value information.
Okay, but what's the percentage breakdown then?
10 to 20%.
It's still very low. I mean, I would say it's much
That's high
lower.
value.
I would say it's
Average
much
value
lower.
There's average value, then there's low value. The low value is in the 30 to 40% range. So if you got the 10 to 20
No,
plus the 30 to 40.
I don't agree with you. I think one out of every 1,000 rooms are actual high value information transmission. 1 out of 1,000. This is not a fucking library, admittedly. What?
Do you know why that's the case?
Why?
Why the quality is so low?
Why?
Do you know why? I'm asking you.
I think it's because people choose to make it low quality, and they refuse to essentially transmit information from a book or
Why do you
YouTube.
think they choose? I think you're on the right path.
No, I think people are just drug addicts, and they're only interested in short-term dopamine feedback. That's the only real explanation. Thus, it becomes chirping and moaning.
Well, besides the dopamine, you get the escape from boredom, right?
Yeah, I know. That's yeah. But that is still dopamine creation, though. The dopamine creation. See, the problem is if you're trying to fight boredom with dopamine, you don't do it with stupid stuff, with listening to stupid shit. That's the point. You're stuck in boredom. It's a vicious cycle. You guys are fucking retarded.
Look, I think multiple. You gotta segment your population. Because you're a part of the population, I don't think you think you're retarded. So there is like further segmenting that you can.
No, I agree with that, but the problem is, it's we the people. It's the American people. I have to take responsibility for people like you.
I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. People don't know how to become better than themselves in general.
Right.
Like me, I'm a huge overthinker / procrastinator, and I don't think I'm unique in that regard, right? Even with my huge amount of overthinking and my huge amount of procrastination, I still get shit done. I just don't get it done to my my highest goals. But I'm almost there, right? I've done enough.
Okay, sorry, you're breaking up. Like, part of effective communication is not being in the matrix. I know you're on the go, so we'll give you some credit. But I mean, you're still not really transmitting any high value information, and you're just telling me about your goals, about things you got to do. Like, that's a chat conversation. I don't have time for that type of conversation because I'm trying to create information transmission. Yeah, there you go. Bye. That's typical concrete. See, again, he kind of proved my original theory about the dopamine production and boredom. But he did introduce the concept of boredom, and that is the big conversation. So it's not just really low IQ people on this app talking about nothing, wasting time. It's boring people talking about nothing, and they're dumb, and they're wasting time. So it's like, technically, I bet you're probably not a boring person, Concrete. It sounds to me like you have some piss and vinegar in you, that you have energy and the ability to create. So you have the potential, but not a lot of people even have your potential, which is really the capability to create energy, to create gravity. So, welcome back to really dumb people talking about nothing. What do you know about art, Concrete?
Yeah, hold on. I don't want you. Hello?
I'm here, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I don't want you to just regurgitate the problems, but have no fucking clue about solutions. So all you do is spend your life critiquing.
Yeah, dude, you're in the matrix, man. I mean, more. No, I'm not going to chat with you because you're in the matrix. And until you actually get on like a fiber optic communication, I'm not going to sit there and listen to broken chatter. It's not worth my time. It's not worth your time. But I'm pretty sure because you're talking, you'll get your dopamine off, so it will be worth your time. You see how that goes? So T Robs, I think what I'm trying to come up with is a dopamine production theory in an ethnic cultural setting where the irascibility of the African versus the de-irascibility of your average Caucasian, just in terms of patience, because I think a lot of it has to do with faith. Your average, I mean, it's not true. A lot of these blacks are raised Protestant or Baptist or some other derivation. So I don't know. That's why I say, like, if you really like talking, it is almost like I wonder if it matches with testosterone in a way. Um, See, just because you can talk, obviously, it does not mean you're intelligent. Because you heard me read things earlier, which these people would never ever read. They're incapable of reading something like that. Welcome, Shlomo, to really low IQ people wasting time talking about nothing. Welcome to the room, Shlomo.
Thank you.
We
I'm
have.
in the house. I'm back in my house safely, my wife and I, and who knows what kind of snowstorm we're getting here in Toronto from America. You people keep sending us snow all the time. I don't know.
I know.
Keep it south of the border.
I know. Yeah, I'm in Chicago. It's snowing here too, and the thing is, you got to stay on top of it because then it freezes, and next thing you know, your sidewalks are pure ice for the next
Oh,
couple days.
yeah, and at my age, of any age, you don't want to slip and fall. The sidewalks get icy. Here they do use in Toronto and Thornhill, where I am, a lot of salt.
Yeah.
A lot of in some places at the community centers where it's civic property, they use tons of they use so much salt I can't believe it.
You know what I don't know? You know what I find amazing is it's like these people are out there. A lot of Hispanic men are out there right now shoveling the snow as it's snowing, and I'm always that kind of a person who is essentially like, I'm not going out there to shovel until it stops. But it is one of those things where it's like you got to do it daily. Otherwise, again, your sidewalks just become icy and you miss the opportunity. You got to clear that path essentially.
We got a double driveway, and at my age, 82, what I did like the other day when we had maybe 4 inches, 5 inches, which is not a lot in years gone by, but nowadays it is. When as a kid, the snow was up to over your head when you were 3.5, 4 feet tall. So it definitely is much less. But what I did a few days ago, I went out at 5:15 in the morning, shoveled the snow, and then at 8, 9 o'clock, I went out again. I only had half as much. It takes me 15, 20 minutes each time. But now I called my neighbor